we've made it to the 7th issue of the now still controversial Tom King event comic, Heroes in Crisis. So, here's a little bit of backstory. So, this cover you're seeing right now, yeah, I understand. People would probably say that is horrible. Plus, Superman's not even in the chapter. Spoilers. Yeah, Superman doesn't show up in this, so this is a blatant lie, and we do not see these two fight in the fields. So, but the other problem is this was the not the original cover. You see, the original cover was supposed to feature Poison Ivy dead on the floor, tracing a lightning symbol with her bloody hands, and I think you know where this was going. Like, a lot of people were mad about it. Tom King even revealed that this was an old draft idea they were planning to do, but he was against the idea because he didn't want to sexualize an event storyline that is featuring about mental health, which still begs the question regarding Batgirl's portrayal in her confessional. And a lot of people still say her character overall is called into question. But yeah, so yeah, you'll see the image of Poison Ivy soon, and that's more honest than the one we got. Like, they couldn't ask Clayman to come up with something like anything interesting. We had to go to this mixed opinion art style that kind of is good at parts but has problems in other parts. Oh, by the way, from the last issue when Gunark is holding the dead, what I assumed was to be Wally West for some reason, yeah, it's not really him. It was actually the Protector. So yeah, he's dead too. Which does raise this one question, though. Do the artist and the editor not look at this and realize, he kind of looks like Wally. Should we change the hair color? Nah, leave it in. This is Hero in Crisis. No one would care. Except everyone wants consistency with the art. But, yeah. Superman pushes Booster Gold and Harley Quinn and say, Enough! Enough of this event comic, man! We already have Doomsday Clock, and we're already butchering a character everyone loves with accusations. And there's going to be some inconsistencies that make no sense. I'm not kidding. There's the image. So, yeah. So, yes. So, we open up to a field of flowers. And we hear this line that automatically gives away what was supposed to be revealed as a surprise twist. You see, in the previous issue before the flashback chapter, it was confirmed that the Wally West that they found dead in the sanctuary wasn't the real Wally West. It's 5 days too old, according to Booster Gold's RNA analysis of their birthday. I don't really know RNA that well. I know RNA's a thing, but I don't know full details of RNA, so... And plus, this is comic books. And we get this stuff that's going on. Wally West, yeah, it's him, is moving a field of flowers away to make a hole in the ground. And he's talking about Linda and at the wedding that happened in the pre-New 52 before Dr. Manhattan screwed it all up. Remember that. So Wally's saying this. At our wedding, Linda read a poem. I go back sometimes and watch us, up there. More than sometimes. She's so beautiful. Who of men can tell that flowers would bloom or that green fruit would swell? To melting pulp that fish would have bright mail. Weird. The earth, its downer of river, wood, and vale. The meadows, runnels, pebblestones, the seeds, its harvest, or the lute, its tones, the tones, ravishment, or ravishment is sweet, if human souls did never kiss and greet. Yeah, I'm not good at poetry. But yeah, what he's doing is putting the flower of poison ivy that was thrown into the river of what I was assuming Gotham City, and he's using his lightning powers to suddenly bring it back to life. I'll get to that, why I don't have a problem with this, like many other people were saying, how this made no sense. I'll get to that in a moment. And then we open up to show Wally West in a field of flowers with heroes in crisis as the flowers. So we cut back from that interesting stuff to Booster Gold and Harley Quinn duking it out with Harley Quinn reciting whatever. And Barbara Gordon and Ted Kord are like, okay, we've kind of lost track of this entire story. What's next on the agenda? We're seriously going to do that humor. The humor where we just stand in the background, have a normal conversation while there's chaos right in front of us that we should tactically be doing something. Are we trying to copy Red vs. Blue? We are? Okay. So yeah, Ted Kord and Barbara Gordon are just talking while Booster and Harley are trying to kill each other. And Ted's like saying, Harley, I don't care. And Barbara's like, no. I told her like 7 times. He's got a shield. He'll be fine. I'm just saying this was not the plan. It's fine, honestly. Honestly, I don't care if my best friend might have his shield destroyed and mutilated at the stake. Then Harley continues singing, and Booster's using his shield. Barbara Gordon is just pointing out the obvious problem here by saying, it's not usually like this. I usually work with, like, Batman or, like, Nightwing, who may or may not have been shot in the head recently, and I never brought that up. Ted Kord just says, I usually work with Booster. And Barbara just says, so you get it? Oh, yeah, I totally get it. I totally get that I work with psychopaths. Wait. And then we cut to a confessional. Wally West, who is smiling and in the second panel of 9 is kind of creepy and psychotic. Yeah, I was like, why is he... So, yeah, Wally West is talking about how his first day of Sanctuary, he says, I've admitted my problem, if that's what you call it, or I call it, or whatever, and, I'm here. Yeah, great. Maybe you heard about it. I don't know. I'm not sure how these things are supposed to work. Should I, like, tell it again? I am open all the way. I'll talk about whatever. I can start at the beginning, or I can start near the end. I'm telling you, we can do this fast. I'm fine. I know what's wrong with me, right? And I'm here, and that's good. Which raises this question. Did they not tell him what was wrong? What he's supposed to do there? Or is the fact that they try to keep it so secretive that even the patients are told what to do and they're expecting the computers to go ahead and answer that question? Like, if this was the Flash and he's a pretty important centerpiece of their lives, they would probably do the right thing and just tell him how this works. So yeah, Barry Allen in completely different art style. Yeah, there was like several alteration artists in this issue, which was disappointing because I really, really love Clayman's art. And what happened here is that Barry Allen broke out, which appears to had been chained up for some reason. And Barry Allen rushes to Batman, and we get the inconsistency plot hole. You see, it's not the shocking fact that Barry Allen went to Batman. Okay, a little bit. Like, he could probably understand to an extent that he was aware that Superman and Wonder Woman were doing a press conference and taking questions, and he didn't want to interrupt that. And Batman says, I'm Batman, and I don't do press conferences. So Barry Allen runs to Batman, and Batman just says, Booster. And Barry Allen... Here's the thing that bugged me about this part. This is what Barry Allen does. He and his, my, Wally, Ted, that, I, what, you, heroes, justice, these, the, what? Yeah, Booster. No, that scene shouldn't gone like that. You see, what should have been brought up was, hey, wait, why am I even here? Aren't I pissed off at you from the Price crossover storyline that's a tie into this series exclusively, which also for some reason is building up to the Year of the Villains, and you said some derogatory comments such as how I forgot one of my partners existed and I almost killed you, and you tried to kill me with your countermeasures. What happened with that? Ugh. Barry, don't think about that. It's clearly a tie-in and is completely superfluous to the plot. We already dismissed that Gotham Girl didn't go to Sanctuary, even though there was a mask in that issue. And, yeah, why is the humor between these two? Because ideally they're kind of mad at each other because of what happened in the crossover tie-in. And when Barry is doing this whole thing, talking in multiple places at once, when it kind of, how do I point this out? It kind of looks like the golden era age of comics art style. It just really, for some reason, reminded me that's like the golden age art style. So yeah, Batman just says, "Yeah, Booster, looks like it's time to go Booster hunting." So then we cut back to Clayman's art style, which I'm glad to see, because there is a part regarding this other art style for the different artist, I don't know the name, that made me like, there's something wrong with this art. I'll get to that in a moment. Harley Quinn and Booster are still trying to fight, and each screaming that they killed Wally. How do I point this out? Shouldn't she be more pissed off at saying, "You killed Ivy! You killed my lover!" Because they are a couple, or were a couple, or are, or was, or whatever, I don't know. And Booster would just point out that, "You killed Wally! I saw you!" So while they're trying to kill each other, Barbara and Ted are continuing to talk. And Barbara just says this, I thought Holly said his shield was broken. It was super broken. I actually rebuilt it. Really? No way. How did you replace the 25th century R3 power con generator? Honestly, I couldn't. Not enough time. Hooked it up remotely to the ship's operating system. Wait, you mean the one that's tied directly to your consciousness? Yeah, smart, right? It worked pretty well, I think, for what it's worth. Yeah, totally. It's doing great. It will do great as long as your conscience, conscience. Exactly. It's the one problem. I'll have to get something more permanent made. Oh, sure. Huh. And then knocks out Booster and knocks out Ted Cord. And then tells Harley, who I must stress is try to murder Booster, saying this, honey, I got the shield. Remember, no killing, and I'm serious, or I'm gonna go ahead and put you in a timeout, young lady, and you will think about what you've done. And Booster's like, oh, no. And Harley sings how she's gonna kill him. And Barbara is not doing anything, it's just yelling out, did I not just say no killing for the 8th time? Come on! Now go to the corner and think about what you've done, young lady. Then we cut back to Wally. So we got through week 1. That's good. I like the progress. Feel like I'm making it. Talking about all the stuff. Linda, Iris, Jay, all of them. All gone. And then we get to this part in the comic where we transition back to the artwork that was being used for the Batman Barry Allen sequence. And Batman looks like he's the Adam West TV design for some reason. No, I'm serious. Like, I would show it, but I don't want to because I can't. Because I'm recording right now, and if I do, I might accidentally stop the recording in the progress, and I don't want to restart this. But yeah, I'm looking at this, and I just kept thinking, that is Adam West designed, isn't it? That really looks like Adam West designed Batman. So Batman goes ahead and basically says that he has a safe house for everything, and meanwhile Barry Allen's just running all over the world, saying, "Not in Africa, not in Europe, not in Australia." And Batman is just saying computer stuff and talking about the Bat Radio. And I'm still wondering, Barry, didn't you threaten to punch him to death after he mocked your forgetfulness because it wasn't really your fault? A naked blue man who has his dongle hanging out is going ahead and messing with your mind. And Batman should have known this already. He's part of this whole investigation they're doing. So, yeah, moving on from that, we got back to Clayman artwork style Heroes in Crisis, where Booster just basically resigns to his fate and screams out, "Fine. Fine! Do it! Just kill me! What am I worth? What have I ever done? I admit it, okay? Alright, I did it! I fucking did it! I failed the future! I failed the past! I failed and failed and failed and failed! F it! F everyone! F everything. Just effing do it. And Harley just yells out, "Hickory dickory dock." Harley went for a walk. And Booster says he's ready. And Barbara Gordon is very slow in saying, "No." As Harley Quinn plunges the broken sharp stick down, saying she saw her love covered in blood. Hickory dickory dock. Well, Barbara screams out, "No!" Oh. "Young lady, we're going to have a huge talk about this behavior of yours. I told you no killing. I could technically have you arrested for this, but still, I'm not going to do it until you think about what you've done, young lady." But it reveals that she didn't kill him. And yells out, "Fuck." And again. Meanwhile, Barbara Gordon is like, "Oh my god, Harley." Laying beside Booster, and Booster just asks the obvious question, "Hey, can I ask, what's the deal with the nursery rhymes?" Harley answers, "I don't know, when you're superheroing, you're supposed to talk while you fight, I think. That's, the best I could do. I'm not very good at superheroing." Booster just says, "Yeah, me neither." We cut back to the Flash. Second week. Week 2. And what did we learn? We learned that I've been a superhero since I was a teenager, and I was struck by lightning, so when most kids were developing, I was dodging bullets. So when most kids were developing, I was dodging bullets and occasionally getting shot by bullets. We learned that I modeled my life on my beloved Uncle Barry, who died when he ran too fast to save the world, leaving me alone. And as soon as I accepted I was alone and could go on alone, he came back. Oh, and I had this whole family and love and stuff. I kept talking about that, and they got crushed by a time crisis multi-something, which was caused by Barry, and they're gone for good, and everyone wants me to be the symbol of hope. What? Barry, you knew it wasn't... Wally, you knew Barry didn't do this. Yes, he ran through time, tried to stop something, but you knew it wasn't him. Barry was close to fixing time, and then, Mr. I'm a giant naked blue dongle man showcasing my dongle out to the world, and reached out and plucked everything out of order. I get that when Barry pulled him into the New 52, his mind was being rewired to basically think he was a person in the history of the New 52 universe, that they established a story for him just out of nowhere, and just say it was Mr. Twister that did this, who was manipulated by Dr. Manhattan to erase Wally. But didn't Wally get back his memories of the old timeline during the Flash War event, which is why he went to get back his kids and failed miserably? And I'll get to that in a moment. So Wally continues saying, "What a week. Week 2. We're really getting somewhere." Then Wally goes ahead. We cut back to the flower of Wally West, Poison Ivy's flower, and he says this: "I wish I had another poem. I don't really study poetry, or get poetry. I just like the way Linda read that one. Gennard actually tried to explain it to me once. It's like it's about creation, making things, but like not literal things, but like how love makes things. Sometimes literal things, I don't know. It's like everything grows out of love, or out of love everything grows. And during this whole thing, Barry Allen ignites something with his fingers using lightning coming out, causing the flower to create a gigantic seed, and pops out of it is poison ivy, but green with envy. So yeah, poison ivy's alive. Yeah, this is the part where everyone got really mad about. Like, they're glad she's back, but they were wondering, Barry can't resurrect the dead. Not Barry, Wally can't resurrect the dead. It's just, that's not what Wally did. You see, here's my best theory guess I have. That flower always had its purpose to bring Poison Ivy back if she was ever killed. So I get the feeling that this was what happened. She had transferred a part of herself into this flower that would bloom and grow and bring her back, so to speak, or make a clone of her in the event she was killed. It would activate on its own and it would take some time. What Wally did, though, was use his powers to basically kickstart it into high gear and accelerate the process, bringing her back. That's my interpretation, at least. I could be completely wrong and they could BS it. But that's like my only way to make sense of it. That's why I wasn't as mad like some people were. So we cut back to Booster, Barbara, Ted, and Harley, and now they're being like the best of friends ever. With them conversing about how Wally might be alive, he might not be dead, and how they need to look for him, and they have a plan, and how they don't think they should go to the Justice League because that would make too much sense, saying that they should operate in small teams. They could do that, but I think telling Barry that Wally might be alive and potentially a murderer would... Yeah, now I get why you probably wouldn't tell Barry. Because Barry's already pissed enough as it is regarding being told Wally was dead and almost killed Booster and Batman. Now it's like if they told him, hey man, Wally's alive and he might be the killer. Please don't kill me. So Booster then says that they're like a team, that they can solve this, they can help finally do something, and they say blue and gold, and the Dynamica Duo, Harley screams out. Barbara just says, no. And then Booster proclaims, blue and gold and the Dynamica Duo, competent, righteous superheroes, on a secret mission to save the world. Meanwhile, Harley is smiling, Ted Kord is trying to keep the blood from coming out more out of his nose that was busted, while Barbara Gordon does the audience's best interpretation of this entire event storyline. Then we come back to the somewhat alright, but not really my style art, and Batman says, there, we have them. The alarms. They triggered. What? Which alarms? All of them. What? Then we cut back to Wally West and Poison Ivy. Wally apologizes, saying he's sorry. Poison Ivy says, you helped me. Why are you sorry? Wally then explains this. I didn't help you. I hurt you. And then I did this. This doesn't make up for the hurt. And it doesn't make up for what you just woke. You have life. I'm sorry you'll have to see this. I don't understand. What will I see? And then out of nowhere, lightning crackles in the sky, revealing another Wally West. Bum, bum, bum. And the Wally talking to Poison Ivy says, death. You'll see my death. We cut back to a confessional from Flash. Week 3. That might be a problem here. I didn't think this would even take 3 weeks, but here we are. can't wait for week 4. Ending the issue. Now, going back to the theory about Poison Ivy having this ability, the question I'm pretty sure someone would ask is, wait, if she has this power, why didn't she tell Harley? Okay, yes, she probably should have told Harley if this is the case, but maybe because since they're in a relationship and they cared so much about each other, as indicated, maybe Poison Ivy was afraid to tell her in a way because there's a possibility that okay, here's the best way to describe it. She knows Harley's crazy. Let's be real on that. Harley's insane. So, do you really think telling her... By the way, Harley, I can totally duplicate myself if I die. So, if I die, I'll come back. But there might be a problem or two. I might not technically know who you are. I might not remember you. What do you think Harley's going to do when she learns, oh, she's dead? Now she's never going to remember me. Yeah, that's not going to end well for anybody. So yeah, and then there's this last confessional that Wally makes. So, he says it's been 3 weeks since he was in Sanctuary. I actually went back several issues and re-looked at the Wally West from issue 3, I believe. And Wally says he was there for 2.5 weeks... and which was the same day Booster had just arrived when the massacre happened. So here's my best guess where they're going with this. This isn't the Wally West we're aware of. It's the alternative Wally West. Like, here's the best way to describe it. What am I trying to describe? Okay, like, maybe Wally that's talking to Poison Ivy, expressing how they'll see his death, is an alternative Wally West that realized what he almost did in one timeline and went back in time to stop the Wally West that killed people at Sanctuary. Though this leads to a major question in terms of... Just ignore that. That was my sister for some reason. So Wally goes ahead and goes back in time to stop the events that happen, but it leads to a third Wally that gets killed, leading to this paradox effect. I'm just assuming. I don't know. I'm left with more questions than answers in this. So, yeah, Wally is going to fight Wally in the final issue because the next issue we actually go back into the past to see what led to Wally's massacring everybody at Sanctuary, or it led to this duplication process. Though this also still leads to a plot hole because in Flash War, didn't they lose the ability to travel back in time? Specifically all the speedsters, like they broke something and causing time to no longer be allowed to be traveled back through and not able to access the hyper time place that was introduced in the DC universe when the multiverse was destroyed and after Kingdom Come. So, yeah, that leads to, like, all these confusing stuff that's going on. And I'm just still gonna say it. They could easily just do the Dr. Manhattan twist. I am still on that. Like, I am still on this. Like, they could have... Dr. Manhattan was aware Wally was at Sanctuary. He had the comedian come back, kill everybody at Sanctuary, frame Wally West, but however, Wally became aware of what happened, went back in time somehow because he managed to manipulate Dr. Manhattan's powers to get him back the ability to travel, and Dr. Manhattan had a contingency plan to make Wally the killer, and yada yada yada, and convolution, leading to this confrontation between a Dr. Manhattan-controlled Wally versus the real Wally. Like I said, I'm just spitballing here because I really don't want Wally to actually be the actual for-real killer. Like, Jim Jones is the only one that can save him now, if they go this route. So, yeah. So now we look forward to issues 8 and 9. 8 is most likely the flashback sequence, and 9 is going to be the true finale. So it's going to be interesting where how this all ends. If the alleged rumor leak is true, then we already know how this ends, which will suck. So we're going to see how this goes. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I understand why some people don't like. A lot of people are going to hate this comic. Like, some people even think Tom King doesn't like it. I get the feeling I wouldn't be surprised by that. Because, really think, Tom King said he wanted to do a story about mental illness and how it affects the superheroes doing all this crazy stuff they go through every day of their life. When did he, before this, ever bring up it was going to be a murder mystery? Yeah, I get the feeling part of this story was editorially mandated by Dan DiDio, realizing, wait, it's a crisis event we can label it as, and I can finally get rid of Wally. And screw Jeff Johnson's long-term plan he had. I have a vendetta against Wally West because I have no idea. Seriously, like, what did Wally West do to Dan DiDio? Like, Wally's not real. He's a fictional character. Fans love Wally. Why can't you just accept that? What is so wrong with Wally that you don't like about him? Anyways, so yeah, when I was looking at the artists on here, I knew Clayman was the one who did most of it, but the other artist was Travis Moore and George Fornes. I'm pretty sure I butchered the last name. So yeah, there were 2 different artists besides Clayman working on this issue. And Mitch Gerads made the cover because of the whole changes they had to do. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Like I said, I'm hoping for some optimistic ending where Wally is not actually the killer, that this was all part of Dr. Manhattan's ploy to get rid of him. And for the most part, he somewhat succeeds, but Doomsday Clock to fix that. Like, really, at this point, like I've said, Jeff Johns is the only guy left now that can truly save Wally West, in my mind. If they go the route they're going to go, that I'm hearing. So, yeah, this was my thoughts on Heroes in Crisis issue number 7. This was Too Fast to Save the World. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. For like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more. And Jeff Johns, save Wally West.